Hey gang, welcome back. My name's Amy if we've not met before. I've actually filmed this video already, but the editing process, how I did it last time, like, it's just too much. The video's like 2 hours long, and I can't, don't get me wrong, I love a 2-hour video if I'm like doing things, like I enjoy watching long videos, but I was just sat there. I was just sat there talking about last year's goals. That's not interesting for you to watch. It's not interesting for me to edit. And basically I just wanted to scrap that and do it again. So last time I watched my video with you, like we both watched it together, and then I reflected on my goals. But it was just too long. It was just too long. We don't need to do that. So instead I've written them down and I'm just going to talk through what I've got and what I did, what I didn't do, all that jazz. I will put in some clips from the video I'd already filmed because there are some specific like plant glow ups that I was hoping to achieve last year, and I did pull them out last time to show you what they're looking like now, and I can't be bothered to pull them out again, so we'll see that, little snippets of that. But yeah, let's get into it. I've got my softbox down here. I know you can see it in my glasses. I'm really sorry, but I've had a headache the last few days and I just want to keep my glasses on. Yeah, let's get on with seeing whether I hit my goals or not. So the first goal was to learn more about nutrition, and I definitely did. Like, I definitely started the year off really trying hard to learn about all the different types of nutrition that plants need and why, and like how to tell, like what I kind of wanted was to be able to look at a plant and know if it was deficient in anything. And I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Like, I tried really hard, but it wasn't sticking. The information wasn't sticking in my brain. So I tried, but I don't think I met that goal. If I ever do, I don't know. I'm not going to add it to this year's list. I think that would just be like too much pressure. So I didn't hit that goal. The next goal was to learn more about natural environments, and I think when I put this on the list I was particularly speaking about plants that I import from other countries and wanting to try and like, I suppose, just know where they come from so that I could provide the best possible similar environment in my own home. Like, plants that I buy from kind of UK garden centres or UK plant shops, I'm thinking that they're probably quite acclimated to the UK environment. Ones that get imported in are a little bit less, and I just like to try and know what I'm dealing with in terms of acclimating them down to this environment. And I was also thinking that some plants I know won't thrive as well, and I think when I put that goal on the list I was particularly thinking about my Anthurium peltigerum, because that is an anthurium that's found in like the cloud forests. Can you hear that kid running around? It's driving me a bit nutty. So yeah, the Anthurium peltigerum is a cloud forest anthurium, and therefore it prefers like lower temperatures at night, which is what kind of helps it to grow. And if you're just kind of keeping it in a really warm environment, it won't like that, or at least that's what I think I know at the moment. I didn't really do that goal about learning about all the natural environments. Like, I definitely didn't do that. And my Anthurium peltigerum is not looking its best. You'll see it later. The third one was to glow up some Hoyas, and I didn't show the Hoyas that I was specifically thinking about, and I wouldn't say I don't feel like I met that goal either. They're not, I can't even tell if they've grown. Some of them are growing like now, but I don't feel like they've grown since I made that video last year. So it definitely didn't happen. The next few were all kind of linked together. So there was trade more and chop my plants more, which obviously kind of go hand in hand. I'd need to chop my plants to be able to trade them. I feel like I got a bit better at chopping plants, I said in the video that I find it really hard, like when a plant's growing in a way that I really like and find aesthetically pleasing and I'm kind of attached to the way it looks, I find it very hard to chop that plant. And I don't know why I was trying to like force myself almost to chop plants when they look nice and I'm attached to how they look. I don't know why I was trying to do that. I don't think I have to chop my plants if I don't want to. However, I do think I got a bit more comfortable with chopping plants last year. It doesn't feel like such a big deal when I go to do it now. I feel like there's been like a mindset shift in terms of how I think of plants and how they grow, which is really nice, because I did used to get really attached to all of my plants and the specific way that they look, whereas now, like, some, don't get me wrong, some plants I won't chop. Like, I really like the way they look. I'm not gonna risk them growing in some funky way if I like the way they look. But yeah, I don't feel quite as like nervous about chopping now, which is good. Did I do as many trades as I'd wanted? Probably not, to be honest. I did like a couple kind of just randomly, and then I did go to the another plant swap, the Bristol one that they ran, which was quite nice. Definitely did some kind of trading then, but other than that, I don't feel like I went out of my way to trade. So maybe I need to try a little bit more with that. Maybe. So when I filmed the 2023 goal video, I kind of divided the video up and I did like plant goals and then kind of general plant goals and then specific plants I wanted to grow better, and then non-plant but maybe YouTube related goals. So I kind of split it up. So in terms of just reflecting on all of the goals, I'm going to circle back to the specific plants at the end, because I'm going to put in the clips from the video I've already filmed but I'm not going to post. So I know in that video I did miss a goal that I wrote into the description, which was to like finally produce some anthurium seeds, so pollinating anthurium, and I thought I had done that about halfway through the year and then it aborted. So I was really close, like there was some like little bumps there. It looked like it was starting to do like form berries, and I think I probably let it dry out, classic, and the berries aborted. Well, the whole inflow aborted, so maybe I'll try again this year. So the goals around YouTube were things like kind of like getting better at the filming and lighting and editing. I feel like I'm better. There's always going to be room for improvement. Obviously you can see the softbox light in my glasses. As a glasses wearer, I think it's always going to be really hard to manage lighting and the reflection I get in my glasses. But I feel like I'm definitely better than I was this time last year in terms of lighting. Editing videos, I don't think I'm the worst at editing my videos. Like, I don't really do that many fancy transitions or anything. I would like to learn a little bit more about that and like kind of adding animations and things, but at the same time I don't imagine that's something I'll ever be consistent with, like across all of my videos. So I wouldn't want to get too fancy with it, because then I definitely wouldn't be consistent. But I would like to, I suppose, put in a little bit more effort in terms of editing videos. So yeah, ongoing, I suppose, not met but ongoing. There's one about shortening my videos, which, yeah, I could probably, I mean, I don't feel like I met it, but I could probably continue trying to do shorter videos. Film more outside, so like out in plant shops and garden centres and places like that. I did it more. Definitely not comfortable with it. Definitely an ongoing goal. Then there was one about more collabs, which I definitely didn't achieve that goal. That was a no. I did not do that. Would like to try harder this year. as I said last year, if there are any planty YouTubers that you would like kind of to see me link up with, let me know, tag them in the comments. And then the final YouTube goal was to hit 1k subscribers by August, which would have been a year from having my channel, and I didn't hit that goal within the year. I hit it in September, like a month later, so I'm still pretty proud of that, like still pretty proud of that, really proud. So I feel like I can give myself a tick for that one. So now I will show you the clips from the 2023 video showing the plants, and then I'll show you the plants from the video that I filmed before. Honestly, I hope this video is easier to edit. It's already way shorter. So I'll show you that now, and then I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so next is like my little list of plants that I would like to glow up. So I'm gonna kind of grab them, talk about them, grab them. Yeah. First up on my list of plants I would like to like glow up this year is my Philodendron 69686. It was looking so good. Like at the beginning of December, it was looking so good, and now it looks like this. Like I just picked it up and this leaf just fell off. Like here's the petiole still, like pretty solid on the stem, and the leaf has just fallen off. Like, yeah, that'll make a cute leaf skeleton if it works, but I wanted it attached to the plant. Like I don't know. There's no pests on it. The only thing I can put it down to is cold damage. Like it did dry out a little bit, but this plant is used to drying out. Like it's not this dramatic. I don't think drying out is what caused this. Like I can still see the roots, they're still pretty healthy, like it's fine, the roots are fine. But it did get really cold. We had like a cold snap, middle of December, and it did get down to like 10 degrees inside, which is cold for like inside a house. Like it should be more like, I mean, above 50, like 16, 17, 18, like around there. So we hit 10 degrees in here, like overnight, because we don't keep the heating on overnight. Can't sleep with that heat. And I feel like this is the plant that's like suffered the most. Like it's dusty as anything, but like look at these leaves. But when I put this one on the pole, I was so excited. Like I really thought I was going to get these massive, amazing leaves. And I was really looking forward to like glowing it up, like really having like this massive plant in 2023. And now I feel like it's just going to be a rehab, because let's face it, all of these leaves are just going to, I mean, die off. Like some of them look okay. Most of them don't. So it's going to end up being kind of, I mean, hopefully it like keeps these bigger leaves. It's just going to be like one of those like stems with like a couple of leaves. It's going to look ridiculous. So I'm probably going to end up having to chop it and start again, which I will share with you. Because what could be nice is if I have to chop it and start again, and it's kind of like, you know, down here, and we see it grow quite big throughout 2023. That's going to be the hope. So this is going to be a glow up that I wasn't expecting to have to work so hard on. But there we go. First plant that I want to glow up in 2023. I put this plant in the grow tent a couple of months ago when I did my grow tent, oh sorry, you probably can't hear me, grow tent refresh, and I haven't pulled it out since. It is big. It's also not looking the happiest. Like, I definitely need to do some work in the grow tent, if I'm completely honest, because things just really aren't looking amazing. You see, there's some discoloration on these leaves, and it's almost like edema. Oh, it is edema, look at that. But they've definitely sized up. Look at the shape of it. It is so cool. That's not the newest one. This one's the newest one. I think they're similar sizes. I'm really proud of it though. It's really, really cute. It does need a drink. It's definitely really, really dry. It's got a lot of extra floral nectaries, and I reckon, yeah, that's, so these splodges here are extra floral nectary burns, which isn't great. I really hate how sticky extra floral nectaries are, but there's a new leaf coming in which looks like it's going to be another huge one. Look at the size of that caterpillar. Oh my god. I feel like even with the oedema and the extra floral nectaries, like, I feel like this has been a bit of a glow up. The stems got really thick. I feel like I've done okay. Considering I did chop it kind of nearer the like summertime, I feel like it's done okay. I'm really, really proud of it, even if it doesn't look the best. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think I did okay? Can we consider that a glow up? It's definitely one of my biggest plants, like in terms of like philodendron. So the next plant is my Philodendron Florida Beauty. I'm just having a little look. I haven't pulled it out in a little while, so I'm just looking to see if there's any sexy root growth going on. Not really that I can see. The ones I can see look fine, but they're not like new and fuzzy, you know? So my plans for my Philodendron Florida Beauty is to get it on a pole. I want big mature leaves. That is what I want. So I'm gonna get it on a pole. I'm gonna work on my fertilizer knowledge, and we are gonna, I'm saying it here, really, 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 I guess the risk is that it, like, everything goes downhill. But I'm saying it here, the goal is to get some nice mature leaves, like, you know, the really, the beautiful shape, and to like keep the variegation. Maybe if it like grows really well and really fast, maybe chopping it. Who knows? But I mean, if it stays like this, I'm not doing anything. But if it gets big, which is the goal, I might do some chopping of this plant, because I mean, I'd love to like pass it on in some of those trades that I was talking about, but also I'd quite like a bushier one, so I might like to put like one or two in the same pot. But yeah, this is another one that's we're gonna glow up. Gonna really look after you this year. Okay, she's so much bigger than she was. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the original leaves on it still. This one looks like it's going to be going. Maybe that one. Got these two that still look quite healthy, and then this one. And then the first one it put out in my care was this one, which I loved. The kind of colour contrast. It's pointing downwards. And I'm not completely sure why. It's not the only one. Well, this one's kind of pointing downwards too. So hang on, I did this one in my care, and then this one. Just look at that size growth, like from this to this. And then the next one was this one, a bit less variegated but still stunning. And then this one, which I really, really love this one, but this one's kind of pointing, see that it's kind of like pointing Like this one's kind of up and bouncy and this one's pointing down, but it's stunning. And then this is the last one to come out, and this one is, you can kind of see, because it's hardened off, you can see the colour difference. And there are some darker green patches down here, but it's almost like it's fully variegated because there's so many different colours. Let's see if you can really see it actually. There's so many different colours to the variegation. There's like this yellowy, this kind of like limey, almost like a minty, and then the dark green. And this one just looks like it's kind of almost fully lime green with a little bit of the kind of minty yellow and dark green down here. So I'm a little bit nervous about the way this variegation is going to go, but my god, I love this plant so much. I haven't chopped it, as you can see. It is like, I wish this leaf was like here. It's kind of growing in all the different directions. So maybe this will be the year that I chop it, I don't know. God, I love that leaf so much. That's so beautiful. But yeah, I think it's quite happy. There's some good roots, there's some root growth in the pole. I feel like that was also a tick. I feel like it's glowed up. I'm just glad that it started growing. I'm going to be concentrating on this year is this one. This is my Monstera deliciosa Brazilian common form. I would really like to get some more mature leaves, like it's put out. I mean, this whole, like this leaf, and this one are all grown in my care. They are on a whole new growth point, because it was a top cutting, but like the top cutting died off, so it was almost like a mid cut. So this is a whole new growth point. I want to get this onto a pole. I would love some really big mature leaves on this plant. This is probably not one that I will chop unless things go really well and it gets massive. So I did chop it, but not in the way that you'd think. I actually chopped that original big leaf off, mainly because at the time it was sat next to my TV, which was over here, and the big leaf was just kind of in the way. I can't remember how many leaves did it have. Was it 3? Was it these 3 that it had? Or did it have this one as well? I can't remember, but it's definitely grown. This moss pole it's on is awful and I need to redo it. But it's put out this leaf and it's just putting out, there's another leaf here, which is still very floppy, not hardened off yet, not fully kind of out of the petiole situation. I do want to repot this one, sort out the pole. So it's not a massive glow up, I wouldn't say, but I feel like the potential is there. I'm not going to give myself a tick for this one. I am just going to continue it. I'm adding it to this year's goal list. I think almost all of my anthuriums could be on this list. But I'm just going to talk about a few that I specifically really want to see like just look insane by the end of this year. Obviously my Anthurium Requiem, we are hoping for some amazing while I'm talking to you, I'm just literally like peeling this old sheath back to see what's going on underneath, and I probably could have just done that on camera. So this little, if you can see it even remotely, is the next new leaf. Just gonna leave that like that. So yeah, Anthurium Requiem, my queen. I want to glow her up. I want big leaves. So neither of the leaves that were on it in that video are on it now. This was the next leaf to come out last year, and I mean obviously it doesn't look great right now. I believe that's because it's dried out. I loved the size of the sinus on this one. But yeah, that leaf's not looking great. Hopefully that'll be a nice leaf skeleton. And then this one is the one that's on it at the moment. I also really love this sinus. It is a beautiful leaf. It is a beautiful leaf. It's about 40 or 50 centimetres. It's gorgeous. It has had a repot, and I did give it I gave it a really thick pole in the hopes that it could kind of be like a pot extender as it grows. I've not really had to do anything with that yet. The roots are looking good, even though the substrate is very dry. I just need to get better all round at staying on top of my watering, because this is sad. Like, imagine if that one was a nice leaf too. That would be a beautiful plant. And I'm just going to chop this one off. I don't know if it's... I don't know if I consider this a glow up, to be honest. I'll give myself a hat. This one is my Anthurium papilolaminum. You can see that it's just a 2-leafer. Like, it had quite a few leaves at one point, and I let it dry out. I let it dry out way too much, and then when I gave it a drink, ooh, there's a lot of, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's a lot of like brown rotten roots in there. So I could probably do with repotting it, but there's also some really good new green roots. But it definitely needs to be repotted, and hopefully then we can get some more leaves. I really hope it can continue sizing up. So these two have been the biggest leaves so far, and I want to try and get this one into the cabinet if I can make it fit in there in a nice way. It's kind of awkward because it's like, it looks like it's had an argument. Like, even that would be easier to work with, and it kind of leans forward. The main reason for me wanting to get it into the cabinet is to try and help with the leaves unfurling. Like, you can see that both of these are damaged, and that happened when they were unfurling. And to be fair, both of these came out in like the heat of the summer, so like humidity was down. I just couldn't keep on top of like spraying it whilst it was coming out to help it not rip. So I would really like some like big perfect leaves, and I know like perfect leaves are not always the goal, but I would really like some big perfect leaves on this one. So this is my Anthurium papilolaminum now. It's gone from 2 bigger leaves to a 1 small leafer. I did repot it. Obviously it's in a bigger pot with an extension. I can't remember when I did this, maybe springtime. There was a lot of rotten roots in that vessel, like absolutely loads, and the leaves had just both gone like almost yellow. It was not looking good at all. I can actually see some rotting roots again in here. There are some healthy ones too, but there are definitely some rotten ones as well. And obviously this leaf is tiny and not perfect. That was not a glow up. One is my Anthurium nigrolaminum GG. I would just really like to continue getting some growth on it. The roots are looking great. These like new ones here are quite a nice like kind of peachy colour. That's cute. If you've watched my Ecuagenera like updates video, you'll know that this one did have a new leaf and I snapped it. So I just like it to get growing new leaves again. I'd really like some really big ones because these get like big. So I just want to size it up a little bit. So that's that goal. It's sized up a bit. it doesn't look very happy about it. I think, I mean, it's still in the same vessel it was in that video. It's very, very dry. Oh, there's one healthy root. Oh, this looks really bad. I've definitely neglected this plant. Oh God, I've got so many plant chores to do. So many. I think that leaf there might have been the original leaf I was talking about in that video. Not really sure what happened to the end of it. It pushed out this one. And then this one. So it's sized up. Look at those lobes. They're so cute. Oh my goodness. And it's so shiny. Like, it's just not very happy. I really, really, really need to give my plants some love. I've just not. None of them are looking great. My Anthurium peltigerum is working on its leaf so it came with this leaf when it was imported, and it's still kind of stretching out and doing something. I would really like this one to get some roots. That's my goal for this year. I've heard they're really, really hard to root, and honestly, I believe it. It's not, it doesn't seem to be rooting, so would like some roots for this one. Obviously I'd like some, you know, beautiful leaves as well, but roots, if all you can do is grow some roots in 2023, that will be success. But please grow some leaves too. It did grow roots. I probably need to repot it, but there are lots of roots in there. They all look really happy and green. The leaves, this was the nicest one it had in that video, and this was one of the ones it came with. It's grown this leaf successfully in my care, and you can see that it's yellowing. It did dry out recently again, but that's the only successful leaf it grew. So the one that I was talking about that it came with, that didn't unfurl properly, actually ended up looking a bit like this. They just never properly unfurl. This is the one it's currently working on, and it looks okay so far. The tip might be a little bit crispy. I feel like I could grow this really well if I just got my act together. We'll see. I mean, I did say in the video, if all it can do is grow roots, then it'll be successful. So I did grow roots. I have to give myself a full point for that one, don't I? The other Anthurium that I'm wanting to really just grow is this little one, which is my Anthurium moodianum. You'll have seen me, like, there's like two little ones in here. You'll have seen me pot them into these tiny little pots. They hated it. It was in pond. They absolutely hated it. I don't think they had enough of a root system to do that with. So they're back in water and the roots are growing, and I would really like it to get out of this stage, so that, if you know, just a little backstory if you don't know, I bought this as a plant. It was quite a small plant, but it really struggled being shipped. It ended up being like a stump, and then these two little growth points have grown off of that stump, so they're like little pups. The stump completely rotted, so they had to be separated from it. Like, if I could have kept them on there for longer, I would have. They've had to like fend for themselves, and I think they were too small to be doing that really, which is why I think we've both struggled. The roots are looking, they're definitely growing. They're the longest they've been, so fingers crossed we can get them a bit longer, get them into a different substrate, get some nutrients in, and really just kind of create this as a more, what's the word, not stable, I can't think of what the word is, but like a plant. A more something plant, like robust, secure, stable. None of those are the words I mean, but they're like similar. Like, I just want it to be a plant and not this tiny struggling little in water. We're not really in a much better place. So I did have 3 of these, and I feel like I've only got 2, and I can't remember what happened with the third. I'm pretty sure I've got 1 in the grow tent and I've got 1 here. This is the biggest one, and it's still not even really that impressive. I've got it in this jar. So this is what it's looking like. I would really like to actually grow this one big this year. I probably need to get it out of this weird situation because it's barely, like, the roots aren't really in the substrate. But yeah, I need to see if I can find the third. I don't know what happened to it. Okay, so those are the plants and how they're looking. And now I'm just going to go through my goals for 2024. I have way less this year, way less. So goal number 1 is to just be better with moss poles. I can't believe that wasn't a goal last year. I want to be better with moss poles. Honestly, all of my poles. If you came around here now and like touched all of my poles, I can guarantee you they are all crispy. Every single one of them. They are bone dry, that crunchy, crispy sound. They're dry. That is not, that's just not going to do anything for the plant. I really want to try harder this year with my moss poles, and part of doing that is going to be changing the substrate in them. So at the moment, pretty much all of my poles are just sphagnum moss, which is great, but my God, does that dry out quick. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of research and just trying other things from my moss poles, because I cannot stay on top of keeping the sphagnum moss moist, damp, however you want to describe it. It's just dry all the time. So yeah, goal number 1, moss poles. Be better at moss poles. Another planty goal this year that I have is to size up my anthurium seedlings. I have a few now. I have a few anthurium seedlings, or like tiny anthurium pups, that are just, they're not growing. I know you can get anthurium seedlings that are not that strong, like they're kind of the runts of the batch, and they are just small. But surely not every single one of mine, from all different batches, purchased from different people, what are the chances? That cannot be what's happening here. So it's a me thing. They're not sizing up. They're just not growing out of seedling size. And some of them, they've been that size for a year, which they shouldn't be. So I really want to concentrate on just growing them up. The next goal that I've written down is to track my spending. Now, this is something I really wanted to do last year, and I really quickly stopped doing it. I would like to track both my spending on plants and my spending on like planty things, whether that's pots, substrates, anything else. And I got the idea for this from Emma, who is Good Growing on YouTube and Instagram. I don't know how many times she's done this video now. Definitely at least twice. And I've really enjoyed just kind of seeing how much money somebody else spends on this hobby. And after watching her do it at the end of 2022, I really wanted to do it in 2023, and I had all the best intentions, and I don't think I made it past January. But this year I'm gonna try harder, and I've set up a system to do it. So I've bought myself, there was a fungus gnat. Did you see that? I didn't get it. So I've set up a system for myself. I've bought this adorable book. It's a bullet journal book, so it's got the little dots on the page, and I've drawn out, I'm not a bullet journaler. So this is, you know, it's not beautiful or anything, but I've basically drawn out the months of the year, got all the way to December, and I'm basically going to list all of the plants that I've purchased. And you can see I've already started with January. I'm tracking it, and I just want to know how much I spend, and I've got it for like planty items that I buy as well. And I'm also going to track the plants that go out of my collection, so whether they die, I sell them, I pass them on, take them into work or whatever. And this is my planty items purchase page, gone for a slightly different layout. And I've also started drawing out a content calendar, but you don't need to see that. But yeah, I really, really, really want to try and just stay on track, keep an eye out. I think I would be horrified at the amount of money I spend. So I just want to, you know, see. And another goal that I'm kind of really mindful, and I've not really gotten off to the best start, is a goal of being better with filming and being on top of content. And I really struggled with this last year with going full time in my nursing job, and I'm already struggling with it this year. I'm just struggling to get 2 videos out a week, so maybe I need to reconsider and just go back to 1 video a week. I don't know, like I'm refilming this video now on the day that it should be going out, so it may or may not go out today. I don't know if I'll edit it on time, but yeah, it's been a struggle. I would really like to be more on top of and kind of ahead of schedule in terms of filming. And I think the other goal, and just another goal came to mind, I'd really like to kind of reset the cabinet and the shelves and just the way all of my plants are displayed, and then try and keep them looking nice, because that just doesn't happen. And I know deep in my heart that is because I've got ADHD, and I'm not using ADHD as an excuse. It is the explanation as to why I cannot stay on top of these things. I find it so hard to stay on top of keeping things in their home. But it just means that kind of, you know, I'll reset the plants, they'll look beautiful, I'll really enjoy it, and within 2 weeks, maybe a month, the place is just looking like clutter again, and it's just looking chaotic, and then I start to not like the plants and not really enjoy them. So yeah, I would just really love to try and manage that better, which may be one of those goals I'm kind of setting myself up to fail with. But I can try, and maybe if I put it out there into the universe, it might stick. It's not gonna stick, but I can try and I can want it, and I can just be aware that is always happening. Awareness is the first step, right? Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you had any goals last year. Did you meet them? I would love to hear it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.